Dear friends, welcome back to the channel. I wish you all a happy new year. Hope you had a relaxing break. This year is all about implementing AI in your everyday work and life. Let's pick up where we left off last year. Today, we will answer a fascinating question. How do LLMs comprehend language? Most of us have this question. How do machines understand language? One of the greatest human abilities is our command over language. So when something non-human, like an AI model, starts doing that, we are not just puzzled, we are a bit scared too. But let's break this mystery and understand how large language models, LLMs, actually read prompts. There are two main ways LLMs can read sentences. Sequential reading, used in older models like RNNs, and parallel attention, so used in modern transformers. RNNs read tokens one by one in order. Their limitation, they tend to forget long-term context. On the other hand, transformers read all the tokens in parallel using self-attention, a mechanism that figures out which words relate most to each other. Now, computers don't understand words, they only understand numbers. So, our sentence is broken down into smaller pieces called tokens. So, in our case, it's raining and I need breaks down into it as rain plus ing and I need. And all these are one separate token. Each token is assigned a unique ID, so like an index in a dictionary. Next, each token ID is converted into a vector, so list of numbers. You can see some numbers in the list below rain in embedding row. These embeddings capture meaning, not spelling. So for an example, rain and storm will have vectors closer together than rain and banana. To understand this, let's first compare two people, Trump with Taylor Swift, on different dimensions such as age, gender, etc. Yeah, a weird comparison, but let's do it. Taylor Swift is much younger than Trump, a different gender, a musician instead of a politician, and has different interests. There is a difference in their net worth as well. Now let's add another person to this comparison, Narendra Modi, India's Prime Minister. Trump and Modi, on the other hand, are of similar age, gender, profession, and share some overlapping traits. Modi has close to zero net worth compared to Trump and Taylor Swift. It seems he donates his earnings to needy people. So, what do you think? Who is closer to Trump? Modi or Swift? Yes, you guessed it right. If we plot them on a 2D plane, Trump and Modi will be closer together, while Taylor Swift will be far away. Mathematically, that's measured using Euclidean distance. Words work exactly the same way. They differ across dimensions, context, tense, plurality, meaning, and uses. For instance, bank means different things in different contexts. Men and women are opposites. Dog and dogs differ in plurality. Walk and walked differ by tense. LLMs don't understand grammar, but they capture these relationships numerically. They track how close or far words are from each other, by distance or by angle between their vectors. LLMs start with random numbers, but through training on massive text, books, websites, news, blogs, history, they adjust those numbers. Words that appear together frequently move closer in this vector space. Unrelated words move further apart. Now, our model has already learned which words often appear near rain and in need. As I explained earlier, this learning happened when you train your LLMs. So when you type it's raining and I need, the model predicts likely completions such as umbrella, coffee, coat, or shelter. But not banana. Can you answer this? That why not banana? Yeah, because that word lives far away in its vector space. If you look at the screen, you will see umbrella and storm close to rain, while banana is far apart. Similarly, king, queen, men and women cluster together. Now, look at the top corner of the screen. If I ask you to convert king to queen, you would start thinking about gender transition. But the model can do that mathematically by simply shifting vectors in the direction that represents feminine. And that's the magic of embeddings. They transform language into geometry and meaning into math. Next is tuning your prompts. So let's cover the parameters behind every response. You have max tokens, the maximum number of words, characters the model can generate in a response. And I tell you, this is a big deal. Later in my videos, I will explain you that what role these max tokens play. Then we have top k. So limits the model to top k most likely next words before choosing. You have then top p, picks from the smallest set of words whose probabilities add up to p. And then you have temperature that controls randomness. So higher is creative, lower is focused. Next, let's talk about tuning your prompts. The parameters that shape every AI response. So when a model generates text, it doesn't just guess the next word. It calculates probabilities of every possible next word based on what it has learned during training from books, articles, website, and conversations. So when it reads a sentence like, it's raining and I need, it assigns higher probabilities to words that make sense in that context, like umbrella, coffee, or shelter, and lower probabilities to unrelated ones like banana, which were further away in that 2D plane, if you remember. The higher the probability, the more closely that word fits the meaning of the previous part of the sentence. So let's take a simple example. You have words, then you have their respective probabilities in the another column. So here umbrella has the highest probability, which is 0.42. In greedy sampling, the model always picks the top option. So it will always choose umbrella. In random sampling, the model might pick any of these words, depending on their probabilities. So how do we control this randomness? Let's take some examples to understand these parameters. Top k sampling. This limits the model to the top k most likely next words before choosing one at random. If k is 2, it will only consider the two most probable options. Here, umbrella and a taxi. Top p, which is also called nucleus sampling. This chooses from the smallest set of words whose combined probabilities add up to p. So for example, if p equals to 0.7, that covers umbrella, which is 0.42, and a taxi, which is 0.25. If you add up, they will closely come 0.67, and which is lower than 0.7. So only these are considered. Then their probabilities are renormalized, so scaled back to total 1, giving you a 63% chance of umbrella and 37% for a taxi. Coming to temperature, this controls how creative or focused the model can get. A low temperature, 0 to 0.3, makes the response focused and predictable. A higher temperature, 0.8 to 1.0, makes responses more creative and varied. The model can become poetic to answer your question. On a graph, a low temperature produces a sharp narrow curve, while a high temperature flattens it, allowing the model to pick from a wider range of next words. I hope you remember the normal distribution curves, what we covered in one of the earlier videos. So thank you for watching this video. My next videos will be more on hands-on. So we will understand all these concepts by doing some examples. Till then, keep learning and Happy New Year again.